So instead of using her cup that Mom gave both of us for that time of the month, Olivia had decided to try her own eco-friendly alternative.
I've been making YouTube videos for the majority of my life, well over a decade at this point, and yet still to this day, somehow, some way. Hold on now, that was kinda nice. Didn't even mean to do that, modern day Dr. Seuss over here. But as I was saying, sometimes I still find myself struggling to believe that the video I am covering is actually real. And well, today is one of those days. My sister gave birth to a tree. This is really one of those times where I hope that my neighbors can't hear me when I'm recording these videos. I'm kind of worried of what they'd think of me. Now, this is another video from the channel True Stories, which I've said before makes the absolute worst animation videos on YouTube, and while I'm sure you can tell why I say that based off the title of this video, it's about to get even more clear when we watch it. So let's not waste any more time, let's begin. Please subscribe.
Remember the tampon-eating girl who went viral a while back? Well, without even trying, my younger sister Olivia took it to a whole new level.
Alright, so we're not even 10 seconds in, and they're already lying to us. To be fair, I haven't watched the entire thing yet, but I pretty much know the gist of what's gonna happen, and I don't even know how they came to the conclusion to make this the intro. It doesn't even make sense for what's gonna happen.
Hi, I'm Ava, and just to put it into context, Olivia and I have environmentally aware parents. So we grew up hearing things like, turn the lights off, and if it's yellow, let it mellow, which was no big deal until our friends came over. They'd freak out when they saw our yellow toilet water and the sign Mom hung on the wall above it. Talk about embarrassing.
So based off this intro, when I first watched this, I was expecting some like weird tree hugger pun. You know, something like due to them being raised so environmentally cautious, the sister thought being a tree hugger actually meant you like hugged trees, and she took it a step too far maybe, and somehow got pregnant with a tree. I don't know, that's what I was thinking. Spoiler alert, that's not what happens.
But at least we didn't have to use the same dirty bathwater for weeks on end, like I've seen some parents make their kids do online. My parents did have this thing about disposables, though. They flat out refused to buy anything that was going to be flushed down the toilet. So we all had these colored square towel washcloths. We'd hang them in the bathroom and use them for cleaning different bits of our body. A white one for the top end, and a brown one for the other end.
If you're that worried about waste, why not just get a bidet? Because I'm pretty sure if you weren't washing the rag between every use, after a few wipes, you would start to create new diseases. What am I doing? I always make this mistake. I start to take these videos seriously and analyze them like they actually happened. Why am I worried about these make-believe rags?
Us girls had a pink one too, and they all had our initials in the corner, so we didn't accidentally wash our face with one Dad used on his other end. Anyway, one night, Olivia came downstairs wrapped in a towel after her timed 3-minute shower and announced, "My bush is growing too fast." I snickered, while Mom raised her eyebrow and said, "Well, give it a trim, honey. There's nail scissors in the bathroom cabinet."
Okay, so we're about to reach levels of stupidity that really should not be reached for human safety, but I just want you guys to keep this interaction in mind because it's not about to make any sense. For it to make sense, the sister would have to be one of the dumbest humans ever to exist, and I suppose that based off the conclusion of this video, that might not be too far off, but I still don't think she's quite at that point for this mistake to be made. I know what I'm saying probably makes no sense right now, but you'll see.
My sister thought for a second, then stomped back upstairs with her legs turned out like she was riding a horse. She was back 15 minutes later, in her PJs, with her pink washcloth in her hands. "Well, what should I do with them?" she asked. Mom was busy mending Dad's socks, where his big toenails had poked holes through the top.
Have I been living a lie my entire life? Is cutting your toenails supposed to be considered wasteful? Are you supposed to hold on to them for a rainy day? I mean, why would you not cut them? Maybe it's not what they mean, but it seems like they're saying he doesn't cut their toenails because of the way they are. Somebody help me out.
Without looking up, she asked, "What should you do with what, Olivia?" "My branches. Do you want me to plant them in the herb box by the window?" Olivia asked. Mom looked up at her blankly and said, "What on earth are you talking about?" Olivia just stamped her foot and said, "The branches I cut off. What do you want me to do with them?" I stared between them both, just as clueless as Mom. Then Olivia yelled, "You never listen to me," dumped her washcloth on the kitchen counter, and ran out of the room.
Yeah, that's gotta be a health code violation. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be calling the state. I mean, what are these stories? What experience are these writers drawing from? Please tell me nobody lives like this.
Mom put her mending aside and said, "Will you get that off there, please? I prepare food on that countertop." As I reluctantly picked up the washcloth with my fingertips, something dropped out onto the floor. I looked down and saw the branches Olivia was talking about. What the? On the floor were a couple of these plant-like shoots that had been snipped off at the end, complete with stubby little leaves. Only they were pale pink.
You know, this really begs the question of what kind of household are these two being raised in that the sister thinks this is normal? I mean, seriously, I think a caveman would know something was wrong if this was happening.
I burst out laughing. "Very funny, Olivia. Good prank," I said as I picked them up and carefully laid them out on the bench. Olivia came back into the room, wiping her eyes. "It's not a prank. I told Mom my bush was growing too fast." Something about the look on her face said she wasn't joking. "Is there more down there?" Mom asked with a horrified look on her face. Olivia nodded.
Okay, fair warning, if you are doing anything that requires use of your brain, you gotta stop right now. You are about to hear what I think is the dumbest plot point of any animation video we have ever seen, and it's probably gonna halt your brain function momentarily, so if you're doing anything important, step away.
Turns out that one of her friends at school had told her that potatoes were very absorbent and good at eliminating smells. So instead of using her cup that Mom gave both of us for that time of the month, Olivia had decided to try her own eco-friendly alternative. Only she'd forgotten about it until it started sprouting branches.
So, first off, I gotta admit, I'm not a woman, but, I feel like this is something you couldn't just forget. Maybe I'm wrong. There's actually no chance that I am, but sure, maybe I am. And secondly, I'm pretty sure the branches growing like this would have impaled her and probably killed her. So I'm having a bit of trouble believing this is a 100% real story.
Poor Olivia. We spent 2 hours in the emergency department that night. She's lucky the doctor was able to, deliver it before she poisoned herself. Or worse. What's the weirdest environmentally friendly thing you or someone in your family does?
Nothing like this, I can promise you that. And they said they got it out in time just before it poisoned her. I think if it was growing branches, the poison stage would have probably passed by now. Maybe she's just immune. Well guys, I feel like I'm gonna struggle a bit during this semester due to watching this video. I honestly think that it has hurt my brain function. Oh, the things I do. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and walk on over to that subscribe button and touch it. It's free. It won't cost you anything. But for now, that's all I have for you today. Bye.
Subscribe.